You are overworking, and you know it. You wait everything to be just fine before you start. And this is the problem, because you miss a lot of opportunities. And this is the thing that we're going to discuss in today's video. So here's what's happening. You are starting a new thing. You start learning the skills behind it. You get good, but you realize how little you know about this particular subject. So you start learning again. Then you get better, but you still think that this is not enough. So you get to study again. And after that, you still think that you have to learn just a little more. So you just start learning. And then you repeat, and repeat. And this particular thing is the problem. Somewhere here, you know enough to get started. Usually knowing 70 or 80% of the matter is just quite enough to start. And it's good for two main reasons. First of all, you're not missing opportunities. So which means you can get a very good job or very good experience by just start to do whatever you want to do. You just stop caring that much what can happen and you just actually let it happen. Because unfortunately, you can't prepare yourself for every possible outcome you can get. Like, there are a lot of things that can go wrong, there are a lot of things that can go right. So you're not only setting yourself for success when starting a little bit earlier, but you also are going to learn way more along the way. Whatever it is, for just taking a better job opportunity, for starting a business, for going to college. I actually don't know if going to college will require like 70% of the knowledge, probably a little bit more, but you get what I mean. You want to get right here, but you're here and you know it. So you know that this distance right here you have to cover, and you can only cover it by learning particular skills. But there's a little point where you know enough, but there's a subconscious fear behind that is not letting you do it, because you subconsciously think that probably you don't know enough. You probably will fail. And this fear of failure is the thing that is stopping you. So you're thinking that you may fail, and this is freaking you out. But this is absolutely normal. And even though you start and you fail, that's absolutely fine, because at least you took the risk. There is an opportunity, you grab it, but you fail. At least you now know that you were underqualified for that particular thing. And not only you know that, but you also know, you probably will know actually, where exactly you made a mistake, which is way more important. Let's say you didn't do it. How would you know that this particular thing could have happened and how you could have avoided it? You think by reading enough? Do you actually think that if you read 10 possible outcomes, you will remember all of them in this exact particular moment? You won't be stressed, so you will remember everything and you will handle it like a professional? If you think so, I'm very happy to hear that. But probably you have to lower your expectations. In reality, you'll be nervous, like every normal person. Being nervous is fine. Not taking the opportunity is not fine. And if you fail and not learning from this particular failure would be the worst thing you can ever make. Behind every story, there is a lesson. You just have to look for it. Now, simply because of that, you just choose the comfort of standing behind the desk. You just prefer standing behind the ring and actually practicing instead of putting in the effort. You're not making any good. I recently read a book where the author put a quote there, which was something like, your life is too short to experience every possible mistake. Behind that, there's a lot of philosophy, but the thing that I want to share with you is you just have to start. Yes, you may not get it. Yes, it might be hard. Yes, you might fail. But what if you actually succeed? As I said, you only need 70 or 80% from a certain subject to actually get started. Because the other 20%, you get along with them when you start. You learn way more things if you start. There's a very big difference between what it is in a books and what will happen in the real life. There are multiple situations that cannot be written in one particular book. Let's say you want to start a business, but you can't close a client. Well, you probably can't close a client not because your product is bad, but probably because you cannot sell, which is another problem you have to solve. The best way to learn about selling is by actually trying to sell and analyzing your sales presentations or your sales calls. At some point, you will see where exactly you're making the mistake and what particular thing is stopping you. Let's say you start product or service. One person won't reach their goal. One person don't like this particular thing. Another person will be just angry, so start screaming at you. The other person will actually want to think about it because there's a certain budget that he has to fit in, or he just really can do it right now. All of these outcomes are unique on their own. Only by trying to reach them will give you the experience needed to actually make a close. And I'm sorry to tell you that, but for many things that you didn't succeed because you're just not good enough. You just don't have the experience yet. That doesn't mean you have to start studying or just continue learning more and more. It means that you just have to take action, analyze where your mistakes are, then learn how to fix them, and then try again. Stop learning so much. Start taking a little bit more action. When you sit in your comfort zone, when you sit behind a desk, when you sit behind the ring, you're losing way more than you're actually winning. Because your comfort zone is the thing that is slowly killing you. It sounds like a cliche, but it's absolutely true. Now, these two quotes, I want you to write them down or just remember them. Every single time that you feel scared, that you feel unsure about something, just look at them and then just start taking action. As I said, you're just overtraining. Training on the bag without actually going to spar. The bag can't punch your bag. It swings around, but it doesn't move like a real person. And that's why you like it. When you get to spar with someone, you know that you will get hurt. He will punch you. He moves differently. So that's why you avoid it. Start taking more action. Because when you get hurt, you get used to the feeling of being punched and you get better because you know where you're making mistakes. And the person next to you, your sparring partner, will probably tell you where exactly you're making mistakes. So at the end of the day, yes, it will hurt, but it's not that bad. I know that you fear that you're not good enough. You might fail, but this is absolutely fine. Yes, you're not good enough, but not because you don't know enough information about this particular thing, but because you just don't have enough of experience. So you have to start taking action. It is the thing that separates you from your current position and your goal. Every time you have to remember to yourself, this is where you want to be. This is the level you want to reach, and you're here. And the only way to do it is with learning, but also with taking action. So this video was a little bit shorter. I hope it was helpful to you, and we'll see you in the next video.